Assalamu alaikum, people. See what the creator have created. Ocean, the sky, the sand, just life. What's going on with the people, man? See y'all right over there. What's up, Mike Lowry? What's going on, bro? The day was cool, man. The day was beautiful, productive. I can't complain about nothing. I ain't gonna complain about nothing. Yep, Big Nip. That's my boy, my brother. That brother's my big brother, man, up in that county. Big Nip, 11 Trade Block. Solid individual, bro. And I always took care of the kids, man. Like we was kids around him. He always looked out for us. And I think that's a lost art, man, that with these older dudes. Oh yeah, Hennessy, they hate when I tell the truth. Yeah, man. Yeah, I made it home, boy. Them airplane flights, they don't be no joke. The seats be small and all that type of stuff. Why you hang with 600? Because I want to. I do what I want to do. I don't have a problem with him. Maybe you guys have a problem with him. I don't have a problem with him. He ain't never done nothing to me. He helped me out, with my little brother and stuff like that. And I don't know what you guys know what loyalty is. If that's what it is. You know, Me and him may not agree on certain antics that he takes, but he ain't never done nothing to me. So if you want me to just turn my back on him, I'm not gonna do that. I don't think you guys understand, what friendship is. It's okay. You don't have to like them, bro. That's okay. Do you know them personally? They did something to you personally, or you just don't like them because they own social media? See, the thing is though, bro, how can you hate a person and you don't even know that person? You be on this thing and yeah, hey, too woke, yeah, bro. That's what them dudes do, bro. It's like, you guys got to understand, dudes, it doesn't matter if a dude violates certain things and dudes just gonna sweep it up under the rug, bro. That's how them brothers are. Okay, you close friends and Big U, that's fine too. That's okay. I said you don't have to like them, because you don't like them because of Big U, or you don't like them because they did something personally to you. That's just like you. That's like just like you, a friend of Big U's. And do I supposed to hate you, Jermaine? No, period. So it doesn't make any sense. You supposed to hate people or dislike people on, you know, who they are as a person. And you got to understand when you're dealing with this YouTube space, man, a lot of this stuff be like entertainment for a lot of brothers. You only gonna find certain individuals that's on here like genuine dudes or dudes talking about some topics, and stuff like that, man. Other than that, I wouldn't take a lot of this stuff on this YouTube too serious, man, because a lot of dudes they be lying. It's already got back to him, sincere. Yeah, I already got calls from all. I got so many calls today, man, about that clown, man. I didn't have to. I'm gonna have to do a video on that. And I told them dudes to stay off my phone, with that because they know the truth. You guys know the truth. You guys just we want to sweep stuff up under the rug. That's the problem. In that gang culture, it's just like certain things you don't supposed to do, right? And all these dudes with these quote unquote status and these names, they always break the rules, you know. And it's crazy how they break the rules. I don't care about what type of line he was pushing. I don't mean that he don't like ass. He's a booty bandit. He's a booty warrior. You guys gonna sweep that up under the rug? You want to see? You want to accept it? You want to give him a hug? You want to give him a kiss? You know, if that's your homie. Okay, it's fine with that. I don't care. I'm letting the world know and the brothers know that in these communities that you have these dudes out here like that. These dudes with all these powerful names, man, and they just be on some bull crap. You never heard of that because you ain't been in the penitentiary with him. I was in the penitentiary with him. I know everything about the dude. So if you never heard of that, the dudes that who you up under or who you rock with, they ain't telling you the truth. Point blank, straight up. And if you are from over there, and all you got to do is ask some of them older brothers that have been inside the penitentiary, they'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you, you know, not hurt nobody's feelings. It's the truth, bro. It's like I'm gonna tell you what happened. It was a situation when I was on the level 4 in Calipatria where a brother he was 2 weeks to the house and he killed another man over a fag, right? Oh, he was a booty warrior. So what we had to do is by us being on the level 4, the Crips, the Muslims, the Bloods, and we all got together. So we made sure that we got all the homosexuals off the level 4, because it was start too much chaos, confusion, and you got all these dudes supposed to be all these hardcore gang members, Crips and Bloods, and all that type of stuff. Uh, and them dudes were just booty warriors, man. It's just crazy. I know are you mad you had to pay your money for it? It's okay, man. It's all right, man. I'm gonna go see his next fight too in Orlando too, bro. I'm gonna go there too, bro. Win or loss, bro. It doesn't matter, bro. You see, life is about learning lessons. You win some, you lose some. That's it, and that's all. Did I used to kick it with Piggy Whack back in the day? Nah, we was in the same arena, 10th Avenue and stuff like that. You're absolutely right. I do not disagree with that. Joker, some ETG mother and brother should have been off limits from jump. You're absolutely right. I don't disagree with that. Yeah. Hey, look at this. You got this crazy white woman and this crazy black man. I mean, this crazy white man. They argue like crazy. This stuff be crazy over here. Look at him. He better get away from that over there. You and Frank going to the next fight? Okay. I'm chasing it. Whether he revealed himself as a rainbow when he was up in Tehachapi, up in the cell with one, bro. That's when he revealed himself as a rainbow, bro. That's when he revealed himself as going down that. And it doesn't matter if he can fight or not, bro. It don't matter. I'm going. I don't care. It doesn't even matter, man. I had a ball out there. It was just a short time. I need to go out there for like a week, 2 weeks, and just chill. But it was so humid out there. It was unbelievable. Where the Rainbow Brother at? He's a solid dad right now. He's a solid dad kicking it, doing his thing, And the cool part about it, I would talk. If he called, I would talk to him, because I got a little choice word for him, because I personally know him. It's not like I won't talk to them dudes, man. It's like, and, I trip off these dudes, bro, when they be like, oh, man, you won't do this, you won't do that, you scared to do this, man, dude, bro. I know these dudes, bro. Dude, I was in the same circle with these dudes. I was in the same group with the elite group with these dudes, bro. So I don't understand, man, like how dudes be thinking dudes are scared of dudes, bro. That's crazy. Man, that stuff be a myth, man. Them dudes, bro. It's the cold part about it, man. The stuff I'm starting to uncover and encounter, it's a lot of stuff was going on before I even came around there, man. I'm talking about a lot of foul stuff, a lot of back doors, a lot of lying snitching. a lot of hot dudes was telling on other dudes, and dudes wasn't around in certain cases. They were just throwing dudes up under the bus. That's this stuff is crazy. Stuff is crazy. You know, it's just crazy how that stuff is though. But that's just what it is. Life is what it is. But that rainbow stuff, I always wonder why no one from '60s had a problem with Big U dealing with Ti, who naturally got out of a fair case. I don't know, bro. I wasn't even around there when he was dealing with that stuff. I was gone from over there, so people don't understand you and them dudes. Really was the same circle. You just like things they did, but you don't wish them no harm. I hate them guys. Right, man. That's what I be trying to get dudes to understand, bro. It's just like, you know, I was in the same circle with these dudes, bro, and the same type of rep they had, same type of rep I had, same shit, fighting from making, from going pushing full forth and all type of stuff. You stayed on 10th Avenue in Hyde Park. You ain't stayed on no 10th Avenue. Where have you stayed on 10th Avenue in Hyde Park, man? What was the number? What was the number? Would you stayed on 10th Avenue or you stayed on Hyde Park? What was the number? What was the apartment number? Or what was the street number? And what line they was pushing? I'm trying to figure out what line they was pushing. Cause you can't push no line in your neighborhood. You got to go outside your neighborhood to push a line. So you tell me what line they was pushing on 10th Avenue. So you was on 63rd and 10th Avenue. And what years was this? Because I'm really trying to figure out what type of line you talking about they was pushing over there. Because they wasn't pushing no line on nobody inside that section over there for sure. It's impossible for them to do that. So they had to go push a line unless you're gonna tell me they was pushing line on dudes, and from outside the section because they weren't pushing no line over there like that, bro. Yeah, that's what they. Yeah, crazy man. Come on, man. You got to understand, bro. I stayed on 10th Avenue, bro. Whoever you are, Jermaine, I stayed on 10th Avenue, bro. So it's impossible for you to sit here and tell me about that history over there and tell me them three dudes was pushing a line. And I know for sure one of them wasn't pushing no line, and one of them names ain't pushing no line. Another one wasn't really pushing no line, and the other one was just a bully type dude. So I don't know what the hell you talking where you get your information from, bro. You know, you from BG block. I'm an OG. Lil Feet was my boy. Man, shut the fuck up, nigga. You don't even know Lil Feet. You don't know Lil Feet, bro. You don't know Lil Feet, man. You just talking, bro. You know, you don't know nobody, man. First you from 10th Avenue, you stayed on 10th Avenue, now you off BG, man. You don't know what you want to be, man. You just a troll. You're probably from over there in Kansas City, from down where, or Missouri or some Joplin, Missouri. You from Joplin, Missouri, and you just reading books and getting names and looking at the YouTube or something like that. I'm not gonna ask nobody about you, bro. I don't even know who you are. You're not even telling me your real name, bro. I don't know who you are. I could call them, bro. I could call Doe Eyes in a drop of a hat. You know, Latrina. I appreciate that, Latrina. Just telling the truth. That's it. That's all. I'm not gonna sugarcoat too much of nothing. uh, you know. Yeah, they can stay. They all right for right now. As long as they ain't being disrespectful, they can stay. Hey Jermaine, how did he tell on Big U? You can't even hey, get up out of here. You must ain't read the paperwork. Cause I know who all told on him. I know who's cooperating and everything right now. I'm just waiting for the actual paperwork before I say something. So I won't do nobody a disservice. That's what I'm gonna do. So how you people's days? Well, what's going on? What's on y'all mind? Everything good? Um, haven't been on YouTube today. Him, loose cannon, told him. Man, now loose cannon. That's who you need to be saying who told. You know, that's who you need to be talking about. I can't vouch for the other two, bro, because there's no evidence of that. What beach is this? Beach in California, any beach. Just pick one. This is a beach in California, bro. She woke you at work, huh? Man, when I got all this information, man, is whacking the paperwork. No, he's not in the. He's in the paperwork as they saying that Big U in the '60s tried to do something to him. Other than that, him making statements or cooperating or something like that. No, he's not in the paperwork. Him more than 600. It's dudes is in the paperwork. Is dudes was around him. Some football dudes. Dealing with that development option. His co-defendants. His co-defendants. Um, some of them dudes they cooperating. Everybody that's out on bail right now is cooperating for sure. You got another guy, out there. I believe he in Texas now. He moved. He got the hell away from him. He's telling. It's just a couple of dudes, that's telling. But like I said, I ain't finna put the names out there because what I try to do is I try not to slander nobody's name until I have, I see the paperwork in depth. And then when I do get the paperwork, I cross references. I go down to the court building and pull that stuff up myself. I just don't go on what somebody is saying or when somebody send me something or like that. I go down there and look at it myself, and then I determine on what. But I don't care about who's telling. My thing is about telling. If you're gonna tell, you tell. My thing is about lying telling. When dudes lie on brothers and get brothers and sisters inside the penitentiary for nothing, something they haven't done. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that injustice. Because sometimes, man, when dudes do tell, they tapping out. On the regular side, they tapping out. But just don't lie tell on somebody, to free because you did something and now you're trying to throw it on somebody else and you trying to mess up somebody else's lives and ruin their families and stuff like that. I have a problem with that. Right. Oh, what's up, Lisa? Lisa, don't come up in here with no. Gotta see that first too, Woke. I have to look. I have to see that first, man. I haven't seen that, so I can't speak to that. See that. Rade. If Rade said he's seen it, I'm sure he's gonna. I'm sure he's gonna say something about that. He's gonna produce that. Like I do. I don't speak on things I have no knowledge about. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of them dudes, man. That I think Rade was in the federal joint with, and he was seeing a lot of dudes' paperwork. So I don't know. I don't think he's gonna throw too many dudes up under the bus like that, or if he like them or dislike them or anything like that. I don't think he's gonna do that. Nah, I didn't make no best leads. I don't. I just went out there to chill out with him. Have some fun. He wasn't hurt. When he had that fight, he wasn't hurt. Uh, he didn't have no win, Lisa. He was just like when I seen him come out the first round. He was gasping for air, and I was like, damn, bro. I was like, oh, you ain't been doing no training. You ain't been doing no running. He ain't been doing no running because he rocked the boy in the first in the first round like a couple of blows. And if he would have stayed on top of him, he could have put him out and he would have got up out of there. But he ran out of gas. That's all. Ain't no excuses, Lisa, for that. I know that. I'm not gonna tell you what me and his conversation was. That ain't for the internet, but and when you have friends, you know how it is, Lisa. You can admonish your friends in a way where it don't have to be always told or something like that, man. Because we always want better for each other. I'm gonna put it like that. When you're dealing with sports or dealing with workout, or then you just can't play with it. Jermaine, I bet he'll whoop your ass. Tobias. What's gonna happen to Bear Claw? I don't know what's gonna happen to Bear Claw, man. I think Bear Claw is compromised, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. You said, brother, I know you. Shit. I don't know how dudes, I don't know how dudes ain't figuring that man Bear Claw, man. I think Bear Claw, man, I think Bear Claw is the biggest dummy on the planet Earth, man. Bear Claw let that man come home, put him in a situation, and just fuck over him. Just took over his whole little get down and just treat him like a little bit like a little bitch, you know. And and he should have just known better, man. Yeah, Bear Claw was a follower, bro. And his family Ben was telling him to get the hell away from that dude. He should have listened to his family, bro. Y'all gonna get y'all refund? Y'all stupid. I mean, I don't. This fight wasn't televised, but the next fight gonna be televised. CK Thomas fight. Don't be too serious. Lisa, you just don't, outside. Okay. Get him out of there. So 600 lost 50 pounds, 30 pounds. He lost 50 pounds. I was shocked when they weighed him in. I was like, damn, bro, you lost almost like 50 something pounds. You stupid, man. I know, Tobias, you should have seen the rest of the fights, man. Antonio Tarver, he was there. He had like a little fighter there. That little dude, man, that dude right there, man. That dude, boy, you should have seen the rest of them fights. They was up in there squabbling like crazy. I should have filmed all of next time I'm gonna film all that stuff. But I was in this corner, I should have filmed it all. I should have filmed all them fights. I don't know CJ Mack. What's up with Jay Reed? I guess Jay Reed doing his thing, man. He okay, bro. Nah, 600 got paid way more than that, bro. Hey, Jay Reed, he doing his thing, man. I don't know. I talked to him a couple times, man. The brother, his mental is okay. One thing, man, about this YouTube, bro, if they get to mention your name, you have to have thick skin. Right, exactly. That's a fact. I think he was live earlier, man. I was doing like I did. I ran like 3 miles and I walked 3 miles. They say PUX a booty band, and I heard Peter Rock ain't too happy with the '60s business, with the '60s business. I don't know, man. I know Peter Rock's a real one, bro. So Peter Rock is at an age right now, man. I don't think Peter Rock gonna come home, man, and be dealing with none of that stuff, bro. We're too old for that stuff, man. When you get to a certain point, a certain age, you look at back at that stuff, man. You sometimes, man, you'll be like, man, love don't make no sense. And you step away from that stuff, bro. And only ones that's older like me or older than me and still holding on to that stuff, bro. There's something wrong with them, man. So, and that's what that be. So it's like I don't think you got kids. We have kids like my two kids is 33 and 36. Going on 30. My daughter going on 37. So why you get put on? I never got put on, bro. I don't know what you talking about. I didn't get no put on. So I'm not from that new era. I didn't get no put on. Yeah, that gang stuff is trash, bro. And you know what, bro? This is my biggest thing. Okay, we made a mistake growing up. 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, right? 25. A lot of us got out of that at that particular age, like I did. I stepped away from that stuff inside the penitentiary. But it's our job when we do come back into society, it's enlighten dudes, about the difficulties and the dangers that they don't never want to tread that road. It's better on the other side of being on the legal side, being over here in Busterville, just raising your family, living your life, and you ain't got to be doing all that stupid stuff. And once you realize that, the better off you'll be. You know, Even though you mess up when you're younger, because I was getting to the bag, I was getting money, so that's why I went to jail. You know, all that trying to be tough and unalive people and all that stuff, man. That stuff don't mean nothing, man. That don't make you tough. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: when you tough like that, or you think you tough like that, and you get a reputation like that, then you go to jail. You're gonna have to convince the courts why you're not tough and why you're not a menace to society. So it's always a lose lose situation when you dealing with that type of stuff. So I be saying, like, these older cats that be talking to these young cats and they be seeing them like going to the left. They need to pull their coat and tell them, um, hey man, you don't want to do that, bro. And this is why you don't want to do that. You know, if you got a kid or you got a baby mama or you got a girl, you know, it's gonna be a high chance when you go to jail, you're not gonna see your kid. Your so-called friend gonna be fucking on your girl. None of your homeboys gonna be sending you no money. They're not gonna look out for your family. They're not gonna check on your mother. They're not gonna do none of this type of stuff. They might not even have your backup in there. They might mess around. You might get up in a cell with a dude. He might, give you some type of drugs and try to rape you. Man, all type of weird shit, man. So dudes need to basically enlighten them brothers on the difficulties and dangers ahead of them so they don't make no stupid decision. They want people only man, hey Tobias. Let me explain something to you, bro. My brother been gone 30 something years and he's like an afterthought to these dudes, right? He stayed down for these dudes, he didn't tell on these dudes. Uh Ben saying his dad was a rat lesson. They got that from me. Um and then you got and I guarantee you, if Big U gets some time, Brick Baby gets some time, them dudes gonna be an afterthought to them dudes, bro. And the only ones gonna be looking out for them dudes It's their families, bro. Period. It's gonna be their kids, their families, you know, their close loved one, a couple of like might be a couple of homeboys or something like that. But the majority of the group, they ain't gonna care. You're gonna be an afterthought, you know. And then when you go to jail, they gonna call you all type of stupid ass dudes. You shouldn't have did this and you should have did that. Man, that dude is stupid and stuff like that. But when you on the street, they praise the stupid stuff that you do. But the time you leave, they they be like, man, that dude was stupid. Man, I would have never done no stupid stuff like that. I wouldn't have did this. See, it's always a double-edged sword. That's why I said that sometimes that stuff, bro, it's a lose-lose situation no matter what you do. You know, it's better just being normal, you know, getting a job, you know, getting your own business or whatever it may be, because it's easy to get a contractor's license. It's easy to get a plumber's license. It's easy to get all these type of trades, bro. You'll never be broke if you know how to fix things. You know how to conduct yourself, you know how to rub your shoulders and elbows with different people from different walks and things of that nature. And you don't have to, be something that you're not. You don't have to get up every morning and put on a mask. You could just be yourself. You know, dudes ain't experiencing that, man. Dudes don't like that type of shit. Dudes think that if you living your life like that, that you's a buster. Well, I'd rather be a buster and living in Busterville than going inside of, the county jail or the penitentiary, looking up, waking up to looking at another man, smelling his ass and all that type of shit. The weirdness that goes on, dudes over there, ODing. This stuff is just weird. You go to the yard, you into a situation that you don't have nothing to do with. These dudes over there finna start a war over $10. Man, that stuff is stupid. I mean, stupid on a high level. And I despise that type of stuff. So, and then they get mad at the brothers, even in there, they get mad at the brothers that see that stuff going on and they speak against that because they so grimy and they so used to being this, like backdooring dudes, lying on dudes, uh, falsifying paperwork on dudes. Man, that stuff, I'm telling you, that stuff is so rough up in there. I don't know how it is now. I know when I was up in there, it was like to the point where it was survival of the fittest. It was gonna make you or it was gonna break you. And I refuse to be broken, because of my mentality, or my mental. Yeah, they still can get jobs. I'm telling you right now, this lesson, it's like, man, they hiring everywhere. It's like you're looking at management companies, they're starting dudes off of like $30 an hour just to go around and clean up an apartment building. And then if the cold part about it is, it's like if you clean up the apartment building like the way you want to get it cleaned up, you only gonna have to do nothing during the week or during your whole stay there working there. You ain't gonna have to do but go back around and just touch it up just a little bit because it's gonna be always clean, you know. And then you got dudes if they know anything about maintenance or construction. Even the city is hiring like crazy right now. I'm talking about they still hiring because they went up in there and they fired all the people that was illegal, meaning that even though they had social security numbers and um, work permit, they went fired everybody because they didn't want to get fined. There's so many jobs open right now, and I don't think these young people they saying that right now. It's a bunch of jobs open right now. They have an opportunity of a lifetime right now to get paid. I see dudes in the field that I work in, like they start these dudes off like at $40 an hour, just like maintenance, like apartment buildings and stuff like that. If you got that skill set, plumbing, electrical, drywall, all that type of stuff. If you know that skill level, they getting so desperate, they giving these dudes like free apartments, like free rent. Yeah, Caltrans always hiring Tobias. The majority of everybody working Caltrans is about the penitentiary, and they running crews, and they getting dudes on, they getting dudes hired. So jobs are out here. It depends on if these the younger generation, if they're willing to go to work. But some of them are lazy, and some of them don't want to go to work. Or some of the girls, you got some of these women out here don't want their men to go to work. You know, some of these girls they rather have a man at home, you know, playing housewife and then going to work, and they go out there and do all the work because they think the man gonna go out there and go hump on something else. Nah, bro. I don't care about all that. I don't get no blowback for none of that stuff. That turn you got to understand, bro. The truth is what it is, bro. I'm not gonna give no blood. Them dudes can't tell me nothing, bro. Right. Kitchen Mo is the boss. Right. You Kitchen Mo been yeah. Kitchen Mo been there for a long time, Tobias. You're absolutely right. Kitchen Mo been over there since he been home. I know that. I've seen Kitchen Mo. I ran into Kitchen Mo on work sites. Well, I was doing a job in Culver City, and I seen Kitchen Mo and them driving down the street. I was like, hey. And it was Kitchen Mo and his crew, but he wasn't the boss then, but he's the boss now. You see how that is? You elevate, and you elevate in companies and stuff like that, and it's good pay. So it's just what it is, just opportunity. And I think a lot of these youngsters, like I said, when you dealing with, if you want to change the narrative of the gang culture, you got to have an economic base. And if you can get these youngsters, adapt to going to work for 8 hours, they're not gonna have too much of stuff to be doing too much of stupid stuff when they get off because 9 times out of 10 they got young kids, they got girls, or they got wives, they trying to pay their bills. And I'm gonna tell you, if they get them first two, three, four checks, they're gonna be like, okay, I'm cool with this. And they don't have to take no penitentiary chances. They're gonna be cool with that. They're gonna start adapting to that lifestyle where they don't have to take no chances. They just need opportunities. And these older dudes, what they don't do is they don't try to provide these opportunities to these young dudes, man. But they want to run the hood. We got to clean the hood up. We got to do this. We try to get the hood together, man. Your hood is never gonna get together no more, bro. These dudes. These right. These dudes don't even get it, bro. Gentrification is so real. It's unbelievable. I don't care where you stand at now. And it's happening right before your very eyes. And dudes still thinking that that's gonna be their hood. Dude, it's not gonna be your hood no more, dude. This is over. Right, right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, that's right, at least, yeah. He's showing them electrical work. If they know how to do that electrical work, and all Nugget gotta do is teach them how to, the ins and out and go get their own license, they're gonna eat. They're gonna eat. They're gonna eat. And electrical is so easy. That stuff is easy. Electrical, plumbing, all that stuff is so simple. I'm talking about once you start doing it, I think it like a good month's like hands-on training. If you paying attention, you'll know that stuff like the back of your hand. That stuff is so easy. That stuff is easy. Talking about real easy. You can go in there and do a job. I went in there. I went to like before I got on the plane last week to go to Florida, Miami. This lady, she had her shower valve was leaking, and the whole shower valve was bad. Man, I changed that shower valve within like 2 hours. Changed it, put it back together, put the drywall back up, patched it, and was out of there. That was so much. That was 2 hours. I ain't gonna tell you how much money I made, but that stuff. Once you know that stuff is so easy. It's unbelievable. Man, them Olympics gonna knock them game. I'm telling you, because in 1984, even though I was out during the Olympics, they was raiding us like every day. Every day they was raiding people. They was taking people to jail every day during the 1984 Olympics. It's easier. It's easier to stay out and be straight nowadays. That's easier, bro. Man, you just mind your business. I'm gonna tell you, man. It was like a brother, man, inside the penitentiary. You know what he told us? His older brother, he was named Ali Moon. He said, you know what, man? He said, take a real dude to walk away from the bullshit and stand on his own, and then just stay over there with a whole bunch of dudes that's doing a whole bunch of foolishness. He said, once you get the courage, he said, once you get the courage to walk away from the things that you've been doing all your life that got you in trouble, that's when you become a man. And to this very day, you got dudes my age or older, they scared to walk away. They still being shackled behind certain politics, principles. They worried about what the next man say and all that type of stuff. They just stupid. They still have that concept, you know, and it's crazy. So, and I viewed a lot of them brothers as followers and as boys. They're not men. You'll let a man like Bear Claw. We're gonna use Bear Claw as an example. Bear Claw let Big U run him down a road, and now he might get 20 years. I don't even think Bear Claw have 20 years to do in him right now. Um, Nat Turner Brick. I read. I went down to the court building today, and I got Brick Baby. They sent it to me, so I went down there and got it myself, like I always do. And I read it. So what he has proposed, he proposed a plea agreement to the DA and a judge. So we don't know if they're gonna accept it or not. So that's what we know for right now. So as what 600 said in his video, as of right now, you don't know if Brick Baby telling it or not. We don't know. We don't know because the situation with Big U case, we don't know if he telling on that. We don't know none of that. So, but on his case and on his indictments, he don't have no declarations. He don't have none of that type of stuff. So I don't think he's on his way home. But if they released him right now today, that's a red flag. If he come home in 6 months, that's a red flag. If he come home in a year from now, that's a red flag because he has 10 different charges, gun charges. If you read the whole indictment, he got a lot of charges. So we'll see. I can't really too speak to him. I just read what it read, and he basically posed, certain things. But as of right now, he hasn't done no telling for right now, as I see right now. I don't know how much time he's gonna get. We don't know. And I ain't gonna never put no jacket on nobody, bro. Because where I come from, you can't even I just seen dudes get killed. They got jackets put on 'em and they never did no telling. You see these just a couple right here where they in this tent right here, they crazy. They be living out here, but they gonna run them out of here probably pretty soon. They gonna run it, on these beaches, they run you out of here. They don't let you stay in here all night no more. Think they run you out of here around like 11 or 12. They run you out of here. But 600 gonna fight again, so we're gonna see what's going on with that. This time I just hope he in shape, all the way in shape. He got that win together. You gotta get on this highway, man. I think traffic. What time is it? 6:39. Traffic ain't died down yet. I'm coming from Orange County way, so got to get back down to the city. But it's nice out here. It's nice, to come out here to Busterville, chill out. You got Bustersville everywhere. Well, you don't have all that stuff going on. But it's some content I'm gonna drop. This is some stuff I think not only um you're gonna get that, but you're gonna get this one after this other one. Uh, but it's something that I need to drop in the next few days. Um in the next few days that I think that everybody needs to be aware of, because there's a lot of stuff that been transpired before I even came around. It was a whole bunch of lying telling back then. And it's crazy on how, certain dudes had these certain status in their sections in their neighborhoods, and they push these certain particular type of lines to tell you not to do something, but they've been doing it all along. It's a cold game. It's a cold world. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I regret that day that all the brothers from Gladwick and Carson that I grew up with when they came on 10th Avenue was trying to get me off 10th Avenue. I regret that I didn't leave from over there, because I would have never experienced my life probably would have been different, but I would experience something other than that. And then I also always be grateful because if I didn't go through what I went through, I wouldn't be the man I am today. I wouldn't be, this mentally strong probably. I probably would have let a woman drive me damn crazy or something like that, but they can't even do that. But anyway, you people have a good night. I'm finna get back on this highway. Salam alaikum.